Today, let's talk about piercings. So if you didn't know, or you couldn't tell by looking at my face or my channel, I am a piercing lover and, dare I say, something of a piercing collector as well. So usually whenever I've wanted a piercing, I would just go out and get it over the years because they become a lot less scary with every piercing you get. However, there are a few piercings that I absolutely adore, but I'm just too afraid to get for one reason or another. And we're going to talk about those reasons today. This feels like the childless emo version of baby names I love but won't be using. Anyway, if you enjoy these types of videos and you would like to see me make more, please do let me know by leaving me a like and maybe consider subscribing if you would like to see more from me and never miss another one of my videos. And let's get into it, shall we? The first piercing on my list are dahlias, and these are kind of like easing our way into this list because I am not scared of them for the same reasons I'm scared of some of the other ones on this list. I'm also not scared of them because I do have a pretty good track record with mouth piercings, lip piercings. I think they would be considered lip piercings technically because they're like in the corner of your mouth. However, I feel like the healing would be pretty similar to healing cheek piercings, which was insanely annoying. Now, granted, it is like 2 to maybe 3 weeks of pain and being annoying compared to a lifetime of swag if you take care of them properly. So it's not like the end of the world. However, I feel like they would be a lot more prone to being caught between teeth or like chewed on while you're eating, especially during healing when you have the really long bars in, even more than cheek piercings. And those were already so annoying. Getting my new cheek piercings caught on my teeth or between my teeth when I was eating and already in pain from moving my cheeks by chewing was the absolute worst part of healing my cheek piercings. It was so annoying. It was painful. I hated every second, and I don't think I would want to put myself through that a second time. Plus, I already have kind of a lot going on around my mouth, and I'm still planning on getting snake bites at some point this year. So I feel like it would just be really crowded, and I don't have a very big mouth. TLDR, I just don't think they would look that great on me with my current setup. No dahlias for me in the near future. Womp womp. Up next, the venom bites, which are one tongue piercing through each side of my tongue. I do have split tongue, but you can get them done with a non-split tongue, with just like a regular tongue, with an attached tongue. I have thought about getting venom bites so often and for so long because they are beautiful. I think they are gorgeous, but I'm simply too big of a baby to get them. Because when you have a regular tongue piercing, it goes through like a really thin sliver of tissue, which is essentially just holding together the true muscles of your tongue, aka the thing that they cut when you get your tongue split. But when you get venom bites, they go through like the actual muscle of your tongue, like the really thick painful part that moves a lot, and no. No, I am happy to admit I am way too big of a baby to get venom bites, although I absolutely adore them. But no, anyone who has venom bites is braver than a US Marine. 1000%. Because again, it's not really like the getting them done itself part because it is over quite quickly and I can stand to be in pain for a little bit, but the healing, like every time you move your tongue, it's gonna hurt. Every time you try to eat something the first couple of weeks, it's gonna hurt. Then you have the really long bars and you have 2 of them. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. Next on my list are nipple piercings. These genuinely hurt my heart because I think about them every day. I love nipple piercings so much. I think they are beautiful. They are some of my absolute favorite piercings, especially if you do like something fancy with them, like getting vertical ones or the little like cross ones, which again, braver than any US Marine. Beautiful, gorgeous, show-stopping, etc, etc, however the Lady Gaga meme goes. TLDR, again, I really love nipple piercings. And I did have some for, I don't even know anymore, like 5 or 6 years, I think. I got them when I was freshly 18 because that's what you do at 18. And I had like a horrific rejection story, unfortunately, which still makes me sad to think about. I think I've talked about this on my channel at length. I have thought about getting them redone quite a few times, but the thought of getting them repierced through scar tissue makes my toenails curl up. So, probably not. Plus, I am so scared that I will face another like rejection situation, and I simply am not prepared for that. So no nipple piercings for me, at least not in the near future, unless I get a lot braver, which I don't think is gonna happen because I'm a big baby. Up next is a belly button piercing. Unfortunately, I love these almost as much as I love nipple piercings. And I do have like a similar-ish history with my belly button piercings, as I do with nipple piercings, where I've just had a bunch of belly button piercings and they've all just not worked out. They migrated. I think one of them rejected. I don't have a good track record with belly button piercings. I simply do not think I have the anatomy for any belly button piercing variation. My navel collapses, my stomach folds over on itself when I sit down. There's nothing I can really do about it. So belly button piercings are just never gonna work for me, probably, unless I don't sit down for like a year or two and only lay or stand, but that's not realistic, I don't think. I also don't see myself getting a dermal anchor as like a fake belly button piercing, partially because I don't think it would heal either, again with the whole like my stomach folding over on itself whenever I sit down thing. And even if it did heal, one of the only things in life that make me feel genuinely queasy is removing dermal anchors. Just thinking about it makes my skin crawl. Like, getting a coin slot and part of my ear cut out doesn't elicit the same feeling inside me. Getting scarification and like pieces of my flesh, again, cut out, doesn't elicit the same feelings for me. But a dermal anchor, oh god. And like either having to remove it from my stomach or having it ripped out when taking off my clothes or like putting clothes on. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not be getting any sort of belly button decoration anytime soon, unless it's a tattoo, but even then, probably not, because I can't make up my mind. It's really unfortunate because I do love a good belly button piercing, but I will just have to live vicariously through all my friends who have perfectly healed, beautiful, gorgeous belly button piercings, because that is never gonna be me. Plus, with all the belly button piercing attempts I have had, there is literally like a ball of scar tissue in my skin. Like, you can feel it. And imagine getting a piercing done through that. I would probably die. Yeah, no, that is not happening. That is not happening. A rhino piercing. I will admit, when I first saw rhino piercings, I did not like them at all. I did not think they were pretty. They have absolutely grown on me over time. They are so cute. They are adorable. They are so unique. I think every time I talk about rhino piercing, I mention my friend James. Beautiful, gorgeous person with a beautiful, gorgeous rhino piercing. I think it would actually work with my current setup. It would not make my nose look or feel all that crowded. However, my two main problems are I don't know a single piercer in my area who I would trust to properly perform a rhino piercing. Can't think of a single one. And I also have a pretty bad track record with like anything that's even semi-surface piercing related. And I think I have said in the past I wouldn't get a rhino piercing because I am very, very scared of the pain. And I still am, but I think I'm at a point where I want it enough to where I could deal with it. Pain is temporary, swag is forever. Unless I can miraculously find someone in my area who I would trust to do a rhino piercing properly, I don't see one in my future, unfortunately, as much as I would actually genuinely love to have one. Womp womp. Well, this next one is so painful as well. I have always loved anti-eyebrow piercings. They were a huge thing when I was like between 9 and 11. That was not an intentional 9/11 joke. They were really, really popular when I was like around 10 years old, and all the cool emo-ish girls had them, and I have always adored them since. The most common problem with anti-eyebrow piercings is, or at the time was, that they were done with curved barbells, because I don't think the like staple surface bars were around back then, or they were very, very new. But the main issue with them for years and years and years was them rejecting, and they still are prone to reject even with the proper jewelry, just because of the skin you have right here. It is very thin. You do move it a lot. It's a surface piercing. At the end of the day, they are prone to rejection. I would also do dermals in like the anti-eyebrow space because I just think they are so, so cute, like the double beauty spot. The problem is whether I get surface piercings, dermal anchors, what have you, in that spot, I'm a side sleeper and I practically sleep on my face, so they do not stand a chance. They don't. So the only option I would have for like decorating this space right here, like the top of my cheekbone, if you will, is a tattoo, but that's not the same. I want something sparkly right here. So since I sleep practically on my face, I don't see anything cheekbone area related in my near future, unfortunately, although I am tempted to give them a try just to see what would happen. Maybe as a birthday present to myself. Maybe. But then we also have the issue of taking out dermal anchors again. That's a problem for another day. Moving on, the next piercings on my list are paired eyebrow piercings, and I would get them like in the middle. Do they have a special, funny, cool, unique name? I don't know. They remind me of clown makeup, and I just love clowns so much, if you couldn't tell. Like with everything on this list, I'm going to say it, I think they are so, 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 so cute. How many times can I say it in one video? I have a really, really bad track record with anything surface piercing adjacent, so I don't know how they would heal on me. Plus, I'm not sure if I would like them without makeup on. And I am not a person who wears makeup even nearly every day. I literally wear makeup to film and when I leave my house once a month, and that's it. I like being able to rub my eyes and I like being able to touch my face wherever I want. Plus, with most makeup products, I can literally just feel them sitting on my face, even if it's nothing heavy. Like, I'm literally wearing a light coverage powder foundation right now, and I can feel every like powder particle sink into my pores, and I don't like it. And I'm just like not sure if I would enjoy the eyebrow piercings without makeup on. I'm not sure if I would enjoy them with makeup on, because placement is like weird. My face is really wonky, my eyebrows are wonky, all my piercings are wonky essentially, and I don't want to add another wonky thing, which surprisingly I would not be worried about with my like anti-eyebrow piercings. I don't know. Anyway, I don't see myself getting double eyebrow piercings as much as I adore them and as much as I would love to have like built-in clowny piercings. I just don't see them in my future. I think I would sooner get anti-eyebrow dermals because now that I've talked about them again, I'm like, I should book an appointment. Watch me rock up in like 3 videos time with my new anti-eyebrow piercings, even though I just spent like 20 minutes yapping about how I won't get them because I'm a side sleeper and I sleep on my face and it's yada yada yada. Moving on. The last piercing category actually on my list, which is any ear cartilage piercing. I feel like I mention this absolutely every chance I get, but I don't think there is anyone I am more jealous of in this world than all the cool people who have like really nicely healed ear curations with just a million tiny, dainty little piercings all over their ears, and they have beautiful sparkly jewelry with gorgeous gemstones and all that stuff. I'm less sad about ear cartilage piercings not working on me now that I have my coin slot and my stretched conch piercing doesn't act up anymore than I used to be, because my dream ear piercing was always like 2 or 3 helix piercings where I could essentially put like rings in like my coin slot, so it's not that bad. But I do love a good curated multi-pierced ear. They are very, very cute. And like, granted, my issues with ear cartilage piercings were at a time when I didn't really take care of my piercings that well, and I know better now and I have a piercing pillow and all that stuff. I just don't have it in me to try at the moment. I like piercings that are easy. I like piercings that are easy to heal. Mods that are easy to heal. I hate nothing more than having to baby a piercing for like years at a time. So I don't see myself attempting like an ear curation. I will probably just get more ear mods instead. Because as much as I love like the dainty fairy elf type look with like chains and the tiny sparklies and yada yada, I am also not like a tiny dainty person. I like the chunky jewelry. I like having stretch piercings. Like, I'm just not, you know. I have lost my train of thought once more, so let me wrap this up nicely by saying I don't see myself getting really any ear cartilage piercing at all in probably my life. Well, maybe not my life. Maybe I'll be adventurous in my 30s or 40s, or if I make it any longer than that, I might get adventurous and just not care. But I don't see myself even attempting to start like a curated ear. I would rather focus on stretching my conch piercing that I have at the moment. Like, what if I end up with cauliflower ear? You know what I mean? Wouldn't want that. Anyway, that was the last piercing on my list for today, and that is coincidentally all the heartbreak I can take for today. Let me know if you would like to see a part 2 of this, perhaps, or something in a similar realm, maybe. I don't know, I feel like my videos have just kind of been all over the place lately. There's so many things I want to do, and no one likes what I like, but that's a conversation for another day. But if you like this, let me know. Also, let me know if there are any piercings that you want to get, but are too scared to actually get. Or if you have any of the ones that I mentioned, so I can be jealous of you, especially if they are healed well. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and listening to me yap about piercings once again. An extra special thank you to my channel members. If you would also like to become a rat baby, you can join up here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!